Welcome back, everyone. So one thing I learned from my many visits to Israel is that they are to the point and they are masters of scale and tech, which is not a bad combination. Therefore, it's also a great pleasure that I can present you the CEO of eToro, Yoni Assia. Go ahead, Yoni. I'll give it over to you.
Hi, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting me to talk about sustainable investing. So I wanted to share a bit about what we're seeing on our platform with retail investors about sustainable investing. And I'll share now my presentation. So what we've seen during this year is a significant scale in the customer demand for retail investing. We started eToro in 2007 with the vision of opening the global markets for everyone to trade and invest in a simple and transparent way. And we've built what is today the largest social trading network in the world, where we have 15 million registered users from more than 140 different countries who trade the global markets, stocks, commodities, indices, ETFs, etc. And we have about 1,000 employees in 12 global offices. And what's interesting in what we're seeing regarding sustainable investing is the fact that our target audience is mostly Generation Y. The average age of our customers is about 37, and we're targeting what's called the generational transformation of wealth. There is about $30 trillion that are going to be trickled down from older generations to newer generations. About $1 trillion a year is going to move to Generation X and Generation Y. And Generation Y is going to be, within the next 10 years, the richest and largest cohort and generation in the world. And what's very interesting is that we're seeing a significant interest of Generation Y in sustainable investing. And I'll give a couple of examples later on and a couple of great quotes from our popular investors. And as I'm sure many of you know, this year has been a very turbulent year in the markets, a very exciting year in the markets, actually breaking records high, despite the fact that we're seeing the COVID crisis. And we see interest of Generation Y to invest in the markets. And this is across the entire industry of retail investing. More and more of younger generations are basically coming into the markets because platforms like eToro basically lower the barriers to entry to investing, so people can download a mobile app, open an account, and trade stocks commission-free, which enables them to basically open accounts with very low amounts. Sustainable investing is generally around investing in ESG, in environmental, social, and governance factors into your investment criteria. And there are various ways to basically measure the ESG score of a company. But in general, some companies like renewable energy or like electric cars or like food technology are by definition companies with high ESG scores, as that's their business. And in general, ESG investing has more than doubled in the past 7 years to now $30 trillion in assets. And you can see that actually Europe is leading basically the world in sustainable investing. 15% of the world's top 100 sustainable public companies are actually Scandinavia, which is quite interesting. And what we're seeing, and again, this is research across the board that shows that Generation Y is actually more interested in sustainable investing. And in general, what we're seeing with this new generation of investors is that they're investing in companies that they love. So unlike institutional investors, where they basically measure mostly financials and work a lot with Excels. Generation Y and our investors, retail investors, generally really invest in companies that they use their products and in companies that they're familiar with and believe in their vision. And 72% of investors in the age of 18 to 34 want to incorporate sustainability in their portfolios versus 6% only of 65 plus. And that's the reason that the retail investment surge this year has a significant impact on sustainable investing. We are seeing that more than 21% of assets under administration in eToro is actually investments in the most sustainable companies. We have seen a growth of 3,000% in assets on sustainable companies since 2018. And we've seen trading volume grow by more than 550% this year in sustainable companies. Now, a part of the eToro platform is the ability of all of our users to actually see, follow, and automatically copy top traders on the network. And those popular investors come from 80 different countries, and you can see their track record on eToro. And what's interesting is our popular investors who are being copied by the entire users on the platform actually have a significant bias towards sustainable investing. So as a quick example, J. Edward Smith, who is our most copied user on eToro, he has now more than 20,000 people copying him on eToro, and a significant part of his portfolio is actually focused on sustainable investing, on green companies, on renewable energy, on food technology like Beyond Meat, and electric cars like Tesla and NIO. And this is a great quote that really shows, again, how Generation Y and how some of our popular investors are thinking about ESG. So Jay says, I believe integrating ESG elements to my research process for my portfolio is important for myself and for the investors who follow and copy my trading. Another great example from Denmark, again, with a focus on ESG, saying being grown and educated in Denmark, sustainability is something you take with you to your everyday life, including as part of my role as an investor in capital markets. ESG is a top consideration in my ongoing workflow and is something I try to educate my community about as well. So again, we see our popular investors talking about ESG and really users from all around the world incorporating ESG into significant double-digit returns portfolios. Part of what we've built in eToro is not only the ability to copy top traders, but also to invest in specific thematic portfolios. And what we're doing is we're looking at the data of our customers. We're looking at what our customers are investing in, and then we're building these portfolios to basically cater to the appetite of our users. And again, as an example of sustainable investing, we've launched the renewable energy portfolio, which is really focused on all of the companies that develop renewable energy platforms. And as you can see here, renewable energy is not only sustainable and good for the world, but it is also significantly better investment than investing in the traditional energy sector. Another great example of sustainable investing on our platform is the driverless cars portfolio, where we see a lot of our consumers, again, interested in disruptive technology that are a part of sustainable investing. So just to summarize, we're seeing a great influx of retail investors, specifically Generation Y, coming to the markets. And what's very interesting is that Generation Y are much more focused than older generation about sustainable investing. through social networks like eToro or Facebook or Twitter, they also share that information with others and spread basically sustainable investing with everyone. So that's a very quick introduction to our view on sustainable investing. Thank you.
Thank you. And as I said in the beginning, Israelis are to the point, and you just proved my point here, exactly 10 minutes. Thank you so much, Yoni.